Well, let's find out, because picks and bans are ready for you guys for game 2. Up on your screen right now, Team Dignitas will be second pick. First pick will go to Upcoming Stars, so they're going to get the first ban option away. Expecting the same bans here?
The Guardian, probably Guardian focus once again. Neath, no. So hi-rez did not have a good time dealing with Neath, as we see so many players have trouble dealing with how much clear she had. They even had a Sylvanas, right? And
they did.
That's what we always talk about, is how good Sylvanas is in the dual lane. It's able to push. But when you're facing a Neath, Neath can take the poke and sustain herself and still have better clear.
Exactly, because worst case scenario, she can backflip a Spirit Arrow onto the weave, detonate and destroy the wave in one go. And that's if you're in a bad lane. If you're not, it's, it's still easier than that.
Additionally, these supports are rotating early.
Stars just really want to start hitting at the Dignitas lineup that they fought against last game. You just said you expect them to go for a very similar lineup here with Dennis, and they're not going to be able to now, because their mid lane Shadow Nightmare is not going to be allowed to have that raw where he hit ridiculous amounts of snipes.
I want him to go for something other than Scylla, though, because that's really the other god we see Shadow Nightmare default to in their teams to try and carry. But
what about Giannis? I mean,
it takes too long. I think that's what they should focus on. I would like to see a Giannis come out from Shadow Nightmare or an Agni.
Well, let's see here, because now Ymir has been banned away by Team Dignitas. Not a shock to see that, but that does mean that Qin could potentially be taking this Athena into the duo lane as the support, but we have seen Cherio in the jungle playing this as well.
And even, I think, Sausage has played it in the soul lane, so a very versatile pick. Something that we're starting to see so much common in the summer split, but Bellona picked up in response.
She was banned out in game 1, and now she's going to be available this time. Dignitas do get that one through for themselves. Will it be the jungle, do you expect, for Frosty?
I think so, because that's just, it fits his playstyle. These tanky junglers that have very high base stat abilities and able to get your team through the early game, and they're also going to pick up the Geb for late game.
Well, Frezzy was very, very good on that one. He stole away the Gold Fury for himself as well. It wasn't anything special, I wouldn't say, but at the same time, he did what he needed to do on that god last time.
And with Bellona, you have the Bellona for initiation, and now Frezzy can just focus on peeling.
Backline the whole time. Apollo picked up very early here for Upcoming Stars. We've seen it running multiple positions as well. Mid lane yesterday, we've seen it in solo lane and duo.
So it is going to be an Agni there, but I want to go back to that Apollo pick. Is the only player who has won in the solo lane with Apollo has been Ataraxia. It's been tried, I believe, 10 times. Eight times it's failed. Twice Ataraxia has found wins.
Well, it will go to Sausage potentially. One thing I do like to know is that that Agni pick there is perfect against Team Dignitas. We were mentioning Giannis for Team Dignitas, and one thing that Agni is very good at is dealing with Giannis early game. He can really put the pressure onto a Giannis early. It's not an easy matchup for Giannis at any stretch of the imagination to deal with an Agni in the early game. Yeah,
and especially once he gets those Rain of Fires, then it's going to be...
It gets worse then. It gets worse, because just the laning phase, the poke is insane that an Agni can really put pressure onto.
Fenrir banned out.
So take that one away from Sausage.
Love this.
Don't give him the opportunity. Well, we actually saw the Chronos pick yesterday in the game with Night's Watch, and NQ did pick Fenrir up against it to deal with it, and had a great game with it. They used the Athena wombo combo to actually destroy it, but just get banned out, and obviously we know Sausage has that. Xbalanque is going to be going over to Youngbei more than likely this game then, and that Giannis ban did come out actually from Upcoming Stars, so they're still trying to hit onto mid lane here, and it's going to be mid lane being saved for Dignitas for their last pick, as we're waiting for Upcoming Stars' final round out of their roster.
I'll be interested to see. So it's okay. So it's going to be a tier solo, an Athena support, and a Cabrakan jungle most likely. And Team Dignitas in this situation, 9 times out of 10, I think they're going to default to the Scylla here. But I really haven't seen Shadow Nightmare succeed on it, and it's not good against tanky lineups. It has such a bad time against high HP targets.
Poseidon,
Thank you. I love this. I'm very happy they went Poseidon and didn't go Scylla, because against targets that have 3,000 plus HP, they don't really need to build a lot of magical defense, because they're not going to be put in the range for Scylla to one-shot them to get those ult resets.
I think as well, maybe it would have been Scylla if it wasn't for the fact Tyr was locked in last pick, because obviously the cripple from the Fearless really just slows down what Sausage can do on that god. There's your answer for this game, guys. Team Dignitas versus Upcoming Stars. How are you feeling about them on paper? Do you reckon Stars can take this one with this lineup?
I think Stars can take it if Cherio makes a bigger impact on this Cabrakan. Last game, he was nothing. He just was not able to find anything. Running around, very disorganized. I think that was more of the team as a whole, though. We really need... But when we see them win, Cherio makes big plays early.
Well, let's see if we can make big plays early this time. Upcoming Stars are going to elect for the safe option at the start of this game. They don't want to level 1 fight. I can understand that when you're against the lineup that Team Dignitas has at a level 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of AoE poke and ranged poke, which is very important for early game aggression. We see the the poison darts from Youngbei slows multiple targets and hits them all, and it does a significant amount of damage early on.
Right. And on top of that, they got the Whirlpool as well from Poseidon, so just those two alone are bad enough to have to deal with. So Stars played it very safe. There's no wards in their inventory, so they're not going to have any vision at the beginning of this game whatsoever, I believe, on the start of this map. And you can see that Dignitas not going aggressive at all, only has that one defensive ward near their own purple buff. Actually, no, it's a lie. They've got one near the right-hand harpies as well. So just defensive wards coming out in case of what I like to call the cheesy invade.
Yep, and we do see Soulstone once again picked up from Shadow Nightmare, so he really likes this item. He knows he's not worried about getting ganked early. He's not worried about taking poke. He knows that he's going to be the one who's going to be aggressive, and he has the jungler paired with him to help him get through that.
Start of the game, no invade's going to be happening here. Cherio and Sasha going to do their blue buff across the way. It's a variety with Frostyak already starting up their blue buff as well. Mid lane, Agni versus Poseidon, a standard matchup we've seen many times before.
Yep, and it's going to be pretty rough for Agni early on, especially if Poseidon can gain lane control. If Agni has lane control, it's very easy for them. Basically, you need to get your dash off before the Whirlpool comes out, because that's your main clear ability until you get your Agni bombs online. Really
good work from the dual lane of Oakland Stars there to get that pressure down onto Youngbei early on in this lane on that Xbalanque. Already forced out that health potion at the beginning of this. Ren still has his Q in a good spot too. So up against it already. People starting to realize Apollo is actually pretty damn good still.
And he really chunks, and we're seeing him pick up this Death's Toll straight into Heartseeker build, and that's the build you need, I think, right now, because he got a buff recently where his base damage was increased and his scaling was increased. His auto attacks are hitting harder than any other hunter in the game.
Well, Frostyak stayed in lane in the solo lane, and that allowed Cherio to rotate mid, soak experience, and go for these back harpies. He will have to hog those, though, otherwise Shadow Nightmare could have potentially picked him up. But on the backside, Frosty...
His dash is down.
Frosty Ack, and with that dash down, is it going to be poke? I don't think they can kill him now, unless he's going to have the bludgeon. Not enough damage, but great poke onto him. He's got one health potion. He can stay, but he's got to play safe.
Yeah, and Cherio actually cleared the wave, so Frosty not able to get a lot of that farm there in the mid lane with Cherio clearing it out.
Duolo from Oakland Stars doing good work and keeping the pressure on this lane with this Apollo-Athena combination. Obviously, Geb, a little bit weaker in the early game, as we all know. Keep an eye on that one as Shadow Nightmare continues to poke those minions and trying to hit Frosty at the same time just to keep that Agni lower down. He's going to have to recall sooner rather than later and watch his positioning. You can actually see Cherio trying to zone him out from getting that bludgeon damage off on to trying to hit Frosty.
Yeah, and Frosty, though, he's going to be able to use his health potions, and he's already about 100% health again, so he just had to be a little bit cautious. But the thing is, he just hit level 4. He's not going to be level 5 for the mid camps.
Well, good double talk coming out from Kieran again. Frezzy take a little bit of poke, throws out the shield though. He'll be fine for the time being in that lane. Running out of health potion slowly though, because he did go for those multi-potions, and that's one thing about multi-potions, they don't give you half as much, literally, than what a full one would do.
Yeah, but he's able to get he's also able to regen mana, and we see a lot of poke happening because of that as well. He's able to throw out those knockups and get the damage off, but Frosty not hitting 5 here, I think, is going to be very bad for him.
He should hit 5 off this wave, should he not? I'm pretty sure he will on this Agni.
He just
there we
hit
go. Yeah, he's got the back harpies as well, so he was fine with that. He will get them. Right inside, we're going to see both stars going for both these camps at the same time here to try and pick them both up already. The dual has rotated in. They're going to get
be careful.
Well, let's find out what happens here. Frosty will only have 1 bomb maximum here, and they're looking for aggression, which I don't think is a good call. Cherio actually went for the ultimate there, but got knocked back by Shadow Nightmare. I think that saved his ultimate better. And now Kieran's here, Kraken immediately to avoid the taunt, but the taunt's still going to follow up. But the Darkest of Nights pays off as well, and now it's Dignitas that may look for the aggression again. The wall comes out from Cherio to block off Resi. The Cataclysm actually hits Frosty. It's going to be Frosty, the sacrificial lamb, and the first blood for Team Dignitas in this mid lane.
2 great decisions and 1 bad decision coming out from upcoming stars. First off, Shadow Nightmare, Kraken, so he doesn't get taunt, was the best decision because Cherio was ready to stun him right after the taunt ended there. Bad decision, though, was by upcoming stars. They had 2 players low, but Frosty elected to go on the Geb with his bombs.
I think Frosty came around the back as well. I think
he came around the back
to go the safe way back towards his tower and do it from the from the front side and zone from that way. But he came around the back, got hit by the cripple, and yeah, he did go on the gap.
I think there was much better decisions, but they didn't choose the right one, it seems. They're not too far down, though, only about 300 gold, but Frosty is taking a lot of poke in this mid lane.
They did get both those mid harpies, and that's the reason it's not so bad for them. The first blood gold is the differential, really, between these two right now. As Dignitas do get that first kill, and it did go over to Shadow Nightmare on this mid lane Poseidon, so those shoes of focus have been finished already as he heads back to lane now with a ward and a health potion.
Blink picked up by Cherio now. I'll be interested to see on where he goes on, and I think he needs to be ganking Variety. I think he needs to shut him down. They have the burst potential to kill him with the tier knockup and with the Fearless combination. And then additionally, just Cabrakan does a lot of base damage.
So Youngbae this game has actually gone for Devour's Gauntlets. He's not actually gone back to Base yet. Obviously, Heartseeker's already stacking at the moment for Rentia. Why has he gone for Devour's Gauntlets, Adonis? What's the difference?
Because he was worried about getting poked in this lane. And speaking of poke, though, Frezzo, he's going to get taunted out, going to get put to half after just coming back to lane.
So beautiful hits for the full damage, and the first target hits, and Frezzy was the first target. In the jungle, though, Cherry's trying to do a little bit of poke damage here, looking for the pressure onto Frostyak, and the bomb does not land actually from Frosty, and now with the rotation from Frezzy, they may continue looking to fight. This is Dark, his Knights are down, across the skies comes out, but the Kraken hits 3 from Shadow Nightmare, and it's Shadow Nightmare that will claim 1, as Cheerio does bring down Frostyak in response.
Yeah, but Qin's low, Cheerio's low. They're going to have to back out there. 1-for-1 trade. Upcoming Stars able to find a kill, though, on Apollo.
But it was Shadow Nightmare that got a kill again. Cheerio going to go in with the blink. He's got the support coming out from Athena as well. The Wombo dunk combo as Qin secures that kill for himself. He's going to chase in for the taunt onto Frezzy. They're going to fire that. The dash from Frosty will keep the burns ticking alive as Frezzy falls to the wayside too. Rocks and Heat make Magma, Vulcan, and they're not going to actually get that purple buff either.
No, but I love Upcoming Stars' aggression right now in Game 2. They're taking advantage of how strong they are early, and they're actually going to go for a Gold Fury here. This is very surprising. Frostyak rotating in. Okay. Not with Frostyak coming in.
Well, they also had Apollo coming back, but Sausage gets soloed down by Variety here on this Chronos in the solo lane. We've not seen those two at all this game. They've just been farming away, but Sausage not winning that one out.
No, and this is twice now that he's lost really to this Chronos, and Variety is playing fantastically. He has a slight gold lead, nothing too crazy, about 100, but it's really rough for a tier to get behind, and this is what these Warriors are weak against. They're weak against the mages that they can't itemize into perfectly. Warriors are very strong against other Warriors or other physical, because there's so many items. Runeforge, there's Mystical Mail, very good against their matchups.
Well, we're looking at sort of a Hide of the Urchin potentially coming out here, or we're going to look at Magi's. I doubt it's going to be Magi's in this one. Maybe Spirit Robe.
I think it has to be an Urchin, because early on, if you're not going to fences, the big thing is getting health, and that's why we see supports, right? They're able to pick up the winged blades, not because of the passive, but simply because of the health on it. That's what's tankier early on. So
3-3 right now. Upcoming Stars with a marginal gold lead now. They've got themselves back into it because they gave up the first blood. The experience, though, is also still in their favour. A taunt lands onto Frezzy again, and that seems to be the focus target from them, trying to poke down Frezzy on this Geb. Still level 6 at the moment as Qin 2 levels above him right now.
Yeah, and Qin has been playing fantastically. You saw how aggressive he is, and I love when he's on Ares or when he's on Athena, because he makes the big plays, and additionally, he plays intelligently. He waits around corners, and he'll lose a little bit of farm just so he can find kills. He waits for the other team to push up, to put themselves out of position, and then he's able to find the taunts. But here's the poke on Variety that we needed to see.
Oh, well, he's just going to rewind and get all that health back again. A little bit low on the mana side, though, is Variety here. He should be fine for the timing. Maybe he didn't really need to use the ultimate there. I guess he was worried about a potential rotation, but mid lane, a little bit of from Cheerio looking for an opportunity here. He's going to jump in, try and put some pressure onto Frosty. Got to watch out for Shadow Nightmare, though, as he's starting to work on penetration, working on that spit.
Yep, and all comes out. Cheerio, though, going to eat a Kraken. That's going to find two. Down. Shadow Nightmare playing fantastically. Athena ult comes through, but I think it was on the wrong player.
He was in the right position as well with Shadow Nightmare. He didn't have to walk around the corner to drop that Kraken over the wall, and it hit both the targets into the Whirlpool. 2 quick quick kills, and now Shadow Nightmare is the one that is going to be really difficult to deal with, because he's 4-1-0 at 8 minutes in.
I mean, really look at this counter pick and how well it's working. Shadow Nightmare on Poseidon is so good against Cabrakan, who has to lock himself in place to use Tremors.
So he has to stand still, and then on top of that, they've still got other gods that are going to have a few issues against this as well, with the cripple effects like Sausage and the other boys too. So Ray doing okay against Sausage for the time being. Did get that solo kill. Sausage clearly not happy about it, so that's where we've seen the over-aggression from him now. He's like, yeah, okay, fine, I died, but it's okay. Like, I can still beat you down, son.
Yeah, and we see both these players just trying to poke the other out. They have heals in their kit, but the thing with this is that Sausage can make the mistakes. He's a warrior. He's a lot tankier. His heal is stronger. Variety, he has the better poke, but if he makes one mistake, gets out of position once, he could easily die.
Well, Frostyak in the jungle playing that Bellona has picked up Heavy Hammer here. He's going to be working towards that Frostbound, which will reduce attack speed as well. And obviously that big slow, which is going to be effective to keep Bellona in range for those autos.
Yep, grouping though on Gold Fury here by Upcoming Stars twice now. They're going to catch out Frezzo though.
Will they catch him though? Good knock up with the Cataclysm. sorry, the Cataclysm, the Shockwave to keep him busy, but on the right-hand side, Sausage catching Variety in a potential rotation, has to Lawbringer away as he sees the rotation coming out from Frostiak as well there, as the whole hovering around the Gold Fury threat is forced to the wayside as the right-hand Harpies are going to be taken by Dignitas.
Smart ult by Sausage there. Get out early before they can potentially catch up to you. The Lawbringer deterred any chasing. They're like, okay, if we got close and he ulted away, maybe we chase, but since he ulted early, completely deters them.
This is a lot better game from Stars than the one we saw in the last game. However, like the duo lane doing great work at the moment. You can see Ren's trading now very, very well against Youngbei there, even though he's got Devour's.
Youngbei wants that trade. hi-rez doesn't have Asi online yet, so any even trade on auto attacks, it's going to be in Youngbei's favor. He's going to be able to heal it back up.
Sausage tries to get his blue buff, does manage to secure it as Frostiak came in looking for the cheeky, as Frezzy in the mid lane, very aggressive against 2 targets. A bit of respect required there, Frezzy. You are a boulder on your own. Cataclysm into a Kraken, however, as Q did dunk down as well, and there with the Eagle Rally with the bludgeon for Frostiak to follow up. He won't find the kill, but my god, Shadow Nightmare hurts.
Yeah, and that's it. Once again, Cabrakan just can get locked in by Poseidon so quickly, and we saw it once again. And Shadow Nightmare, I think he held that ult just half a second because Athena, once she lands, no more damage reduction. Additionally, you're hitting 2 players.
Blink from Frezzy did actually land with a Shockwave, but it's actually great Flame Wave coming out as well from Frosty. Rens is in the whole world of trouble being stuck in that cripple, and Frostiak will secure the kill. It does buy Q in time to get back alive, though, and that means the Gold Fury threat may fall to the wayside again for now.
Yeah, that fantastic stun by Frosty. Basically able to poke out 2 players in addition to that, so really keeps them at bay. Taking a look here, just a lot. They're going to go for their buffs here. They can't go for the Gold Fury. Get the farm across the map. Right now, Team Dignitas leads 2,500 in experience.
It's not much, is it?
2K in gold.
It's so backwards and forwards. Look at the lead.
It's very close.
It's not been over 3K for either team so far this game so far.
3 deaths by hi-rez.
Yep.
That's rough, especially against a Xbalanque. Really, as an Apollo, you want to get the damage out early because Xbalanque is going to be hitting once he gets his passive online. He doesn't have anything yet. It's just 6 assists for Youngbei, but once he gets his passive online, you won't be hitting harder than him.
Well, I mean, Youngbei as well, all he's done all the game is hit Darkies of Nights and picked himself up assists.
That's a difficult ability.
You're going to tell me, like, Fire Shards is difficult now, right?
It's the same skill as World Weaver.
Okay.
You just press a button. Oh, actually, World Weaver is 2 clicks.
Exactly. 1 click on that. Actually, 2 clicks on Darkest of Nights.
No, it's instant. There's no highlight. Darkest of Nights is so it's 1 click.
Mind blown.
Oh my god.
Learning with Adonis, the Masters player from NA.
One at a time.
It's not hard to get Masters in NA though, is it? Let's be honest. Shing's there. Like, let's be honest.
Okay, fair enough.
7-3 though is Team Dignitas right now. 12 minutes into this game. The Gold Fury is a threat from both teams at the moment. The one who takes this will get themselves a decent advantage because this is still anyone's game right now.
Yep. And a lot of positioning around Gold Fury once again. Both players want to pick, but early on we saw upcoming stars being the aggressors, but now that Cheerio is starting to fall behind, now that we're seeing Frosty fall behind, those small experience leads, they're starting to take hold, and now Dignitas is being the aggressors. Youngbei's trying to outtrade hi-rez, and really, I think upcoming stars are scared of Shadow Nightmare.
Well, the Hobbies on the left are going to go to upcoming stars here. Frezzy tries to put a bit of poke pressure on. The right ones, though, have been swept up by Team Dignitas as well, so a 1-for-1 trade there. Kieran looking for a potential pick if possible, but the Hunter's dueling out here, and Frezzy is in support of Youngbei. Youngbei doesn't want to fight that anymore, though, as Kieran does rotate over, and now the focus onto Frezzy as the Darkest of Nights comes out from Youngbei to support Frezzy, who has to roll away. The rotation, though, from mid lane as Variety has arrived, and Kieran takes a lot of poke, not got preemptive strike available as the bludgeon does connect. Meanwhile, Cherry in the backside forces the rewind out of Variety, and the Travis is going to connect onto Frostiak, who does manage to get away barely, but that's a cracker to Cherio's face from Shadow Nightmare, and he's going to fall down to the wayside, so only 1 casualty in that whole engagement. But wait a minute.
Sausage coming in too. He's able to knock people up. Qin's going to get his ult off. Where is hi-rez going to land? He's going to find Frostiak in the back, but he's in trouble. Variety getting low. Dash in by Frosty. Can he take out Variety? Doesn't look like it. Variety's going to walk out of there, but upcoming stars gets 2 more kills in return, force Team Dignitas back, and they're looking at Gold Fury. This is a great choice.
Can they do the Gold Fury is the question. hi-rez is going to do decent damage on this as much as possible as well. Everybody is back in base. This is a free Gold Fury for upcoming stars. The fight works out well.
But if upcoming stars all backs here, we could see a Fire Giant sneak too. Very unlikely. Doesn't look like Team Dignitas is positioned.
Look at the golden experience, guys. You can all see that on the screen now. It's even. That Gold Fury and that fight made it even again.
And
so we talked about that fight. It was backwards and forwards. There was a lot of engagement, a lot of forced ultimates out. Shadow Nightmare picks himself a great kill again. Now 6-1-1. I mean, he's doing work this game so far.
He's just really abusing the Cabrakan more than anything. Like we said earlier, Cabrakan locks himself in place, and we saw that. We saw Tremors go off, and by the time so we see the Whirlpool come out. Cherio cancels Tremors, but not only does he waste time canceling Tremors, but then he's stuck in the Whirlpool. He can't escape.
Move, yeah. Well, engagement from Cherio looking for Variety, knowing that Rewind is down. Variety could be in trouble here, but the support from the Eagles rally from Frostyak does allow the bludgeon damage to hit onto Sausage. He will get away as it is Tear for now. With Qin coming in with the defender of Olympus as well. He's going to be even tankier. The dunk does connect to Frostyak. He's going to taunt, but now it's Qin in trouble, being body blocked down by Frostyak and that minion of doom. And Variety will pick up Qin, and now they're looking for Morris. Cherio is surrounded, and guess who's there once again to pick up Cherry?
Upcoming stars, they look so good, and then you see fights like that where they don't know what they want. Sausage is running away. Cherio's running away. Qin dashes in and taunts, and then he's just body blocked. By that time, Cherry's like, okay, Qin went in. I need to try and protect him. He stays too long, though. Shadow Nightmare's able to rotate, and he falls as well. Just indecisiveness coming out from upcoming stars. They need to pick something and do it. Well, even if it's the wrong choice, you have to do it as a team.
Well, what can they do now? Can Dignitas? They're looking to siege mid lane. This is only Frosty here alone. Variety's even rotating for this, and Frosty wisely here just going to back away and give up this tier 1 tower by the looks of it. There's no rotation from his team. As on the left-hand side, you can see hi-rez a little bit overextended, pops that sprint immediately.
That is a 5-man rotation for hi-rez. They do not want him to live. Blink in. Cataclysm.
Forced out the ultimate straight away, though, and he actually avoided the Cataclysm because of that really nice usage from the Across the Skies from Renz, as Sausage does go back to farm on the right-hand side. There's no extra pressure there, though, I guess, because, you know, they go for his down.
Yeah, but that rotation actually kind of helped upcoming stars. We see them able to farm up a couple waves in lane because of that huge rotation, and Dignitas wasn't pressuring them in response here. But now they're grouped up on the left trying to battle out Variety, who's now in this dual lane as well.
So 10-5, 16 minutes in, a small lead for Dignitas developed after the Gulf Fury went to upcoming stars after their great team fight. But a couple of towers down, a couple of little engages that didn't work out well for upcoming stars. Dignitas came out on top of it. And who are they looking for in the team fights now? Do they have to take out Shadow Nightmare early? Is that what the game plan is? Or do they have to make sure Cherio doesn't go in until Shadow's out of the fight?
If that happens, really, it needs to be Sausage. He needs to be there at the beginning of fights. He needs to stop coming in late. Upcoming stars needs to wait till Sausage gets there. And then Sausage, he needs to peel Shadow Nightmare. He needs to force Geb to have to defend Shadow Nightmare, because Sausage, he has Urchin online. He has Blink. He has Lawless. He can get away from Shadow Nightmare, but he just needs to make sure that Shadow Nightmare stays away from that Cabrakan.
I'm interested to see how far ahead at the moment Shadow Nightmare is in terms of damage of the rest of the team. I believe he should be top of the charts right now. Frostyak in the jungle, though, has done a lot of damage as well this game. Can we bring those charts up on the damage, guys? Please, please.
Take a look here shortly.
No, damage. Damage. That's not damage, is it, Clumsy? God's sake!
That Chronos poke, though.
Variety has done so much with this god.
Both games. He's just been playing fantastically. But instantly after that, we do see Shadow Nightmare coming at number 2, but he's not really poking players out. When he goes in, he kills. So most of that damage is team fighting. Most of Variety's damage is that back and forth trade. But you can see the small lead he's gained on Sausage because of it.
I mean, he's also, when we see Variety's damage there, he's against the melee gods, so melee's going to take free poke more often, and the sustain melee gods, so they'll be able to sustain, so he can do that much damage. But take away Chronos there, you can see a lot of damage. You can see Frostyak in the mid lane, though, looking for a bit of something onto Cherio. And Cherio actually blinked away from that in mid lane there as we're tuning with hi-rez. He was a bit worried about the engagement. Yeah,
he was scared, and that was the right choice. It's Blink 3. It's up every 45 seconds. And Cherio, I'm actually questioning why he went that Blink 3 early, but now he's in a bad spot.
Now. Yeah, Frosty's going to come in as well to support, and the stun does not connect. Qin on the backside, though, might look for a taunt onto both of them. It does connect with Shadow Nightmare, but nothing to write home about, as Renz is on the rotation too, and Frostyak trying to just soak up the front line here. He has that Frostbone Hammer now completed, as well as Wing Blade. So Frostyak gone for that utility sort of CC and reduce damage build.
And that's what we see a lot from him. He's not even going the pick up a tanky item. He's going the item where I can get in and out of fights very quickly.
Back to farm we go once again with hi-rez, who's not had the greatest of games, 1, 3, and 2. His laning phase looked really strong, honestly.
He was actually the 3rd highest in damage, though, so he has been getting the damage onto Yungbei.
But Yungbei's devours gauntlets.
Yes, and additionally, though, we see Team Dignitas, when hi-rez enters a fight, he is their prime target.
Well, he's only 200 gold up right now on Youngbei in that lane as well. Frostiak going aggressive, just going to hog those back archers at the same time. That Whirlpool does get with Frosty, and Frosty did just use his Path of Flames during that, and that's going to be his casualty. He's going to go to the wayside as the Kraken hits across the sky. Is being used at the moment by Renz, but that's defensively used as the Gold Fury has spawned. Dignitas get themselves to siege it.
Yeah, and now they're going to go for this. They took out Frosty. That's their biggest team fighting god here right now. And Variety, they're not going to let anyone get in here. They're not going to let what Frezzy did to Upcoming Stars. You pick someone to zone. That's what they're doing. And Upcoming Stars, they just went back to farming. hi-rez is in duo. He knows they can't get in on that.
It was a really good notice. It was well noticed from Dignitas, though, to see that he used Path of Flames during that cripple from the Whirlpool.
It was very small. You saw it,
really
right?
tiny.
We saw Frosty move forward about half a step.
And then boof, stopped because the Whirlpool cripple connected with him. As soon as he noticed that, the Kraken came out immediately. The call was made, cracking him now because he can't escape from him.
Taking a look here, Shadow Nightmare going to be rotating over to this dual lane. We see a siege coming out from Team Dignitas. They haven't spent that gold that they just earned, but they only have 2 players to worry about. Cabrakan rotating in as well, but Team Dignitas have an extra man here.
Well, let's see what they can do. The Kraken is available once again with Shadow Nightmare. Frezzy will blink and initiate if he needs to, but all they need to do for the time being is zone as the tower gets chipped away at by Youngbei and Variety alongside him. The first tower falls. Sausage on the right-hand side being kept busy by Frostiak, who's got the sort of build to deal with that. Blinking from Frezzy, though, into a Cataclysm. There's a Whirlpool into a Kraken combination, and Qin falls down. Cherry trying to tremors them all in and keep them all busy in the backside. Frezzy still taking. Frezzy will die finally to the tower, and Frosty. Variety, though, is still doing work on the front and got to bring down Cherio, and now Renz is here. Get some good poke off with that so beautiful, but won't find the kill.
Yeah, and Shadow Nightmare hitting fantastic Whirlpools all fight, finding multiple players in the middle of it, and just giving out so much poke. Frosty, most of his life has been from Whirlpools only. Now Variety is going to go in. Can he hit the stun?
No, he cannot hit the stun, and the mess comes out from Renz as well, but Renz is getting hit from the backside from the other members. Poseidon hit him with a trident. He's still trying to find Variety with the finger bangs, but he will not secure that final hit. And Frosty will go down too to the wayside.
Yeah, and Dignitas almost threw that fight. You saw them focusing on 2 different players. hi-rez was in the back line, but 2 players were chasing out Frosty, and hi-rez was just able to get free autos off on them. They almost lost that fight, but they were able to find the kills. 2 players living with under 5% life. Game paused very shortly, but Team Dignitas has a hold on this game once again.
Do you really think the game is paused? Do you think they can't see that at home? Do you think they can't read those words? They're huge.
Well, it's a timeout, according to Brad, which is wrong. It's not a timeout, but here comes Sausage.
Oh, you just go in with it, but he's not going to find a great blink away. Lawbringer secures the kill. That one to Variety. No escape for you, my friend. Qin's on the track as well, but will he be able to chase them down? Frostiak should be fine in this engagement, and that Whirlpool will just force to disengage away as the Lawbringer is still down. Does he have blink down? Yep.
Yeah, he blinked. He blinked, and then Variety counter-blinked away, but Lawbringer was able to find it. So that's interesting to note is it is a blink 1 picked up on Variety, and he's going to wait to get that. He doesn't know if he wants combat blink. He doesn't know if he wants aggressive blink. He'll likely get it to level 2 and just keep it there until late game, because when it's blink 2, you can choose, do I want to be offensive or defensive? Once you get rank 3, blink or combat blink, you make your final choice. You can't go back.
Well, Winions came into effect on the left-hand lane there as the Tier 2 tower did finally fall to them on the next wave that came through after that engagement there by Team Dignitas. They accelerated the lead now at 22 minutes in, 15-7. Gold lead is stretched marginally, favorably, about 6,000 at the moment in favor of them. You can see the experience as well. Pretty strong too.
I got the joke.
Which joke?
Accelerated. Chronos is in the lead, so they accelerated.
All right, calm down.
The lead.
I'm not Gandhi. We tell proper jokes here, okay?
6,500 gold, 9,700 experience, and Variety almost level 20. Shadow Nightmare, the first 20 on the board. Sausage is level 19 as well, but after that, the farm on Upcoming Stars is so rough.
Here's the key. Frosty is just not having the best game at the moment on this Agni. It's still level 16 at the moment. His itemization build is standard, but look at his damage, 7.4k. He's almost behind Geb.
Speaking of Geb, we see him dump a lot of his damage into Geb every fight, and even if they do find Frezzy, which they have, I think, twice in these team fights, once in a pickoff, he's wasted all of that burst on the Guardian, and the rest of Dig can clean up.
When you look at the other mages on this, they're both above 11k right now. Both way above level 11k. Dignitas going to go for the Fire Giant here, though. Sausage will swing around in the area with that lovely sword of his to say, hello, boys, what's going on? Q is here, too. They're looking for the steal, but will they find it? The jungle was great on Frezzy. Dignitas do get the Fire Giant, though, as the Kraken did come out to annihilate Sausage, and Variety picks that one up. Tremors use Frosty, will fall as he tries to use the Path of Flames again as the bludgeon hits, but the blink from Variety focuses Cherio into a corner, and it's a corner of death.
Yeah, hi-rez split pushing that whole time, but it doesn't matter. Triple kill for Frostiak. 4 players down. Fire Giant picked up.
Phoenix.
They're going to lose a tier 2.
They need to send someone back. They need to send someone back because he'll get a Phoenix. I don't think they can end off this push, and he'll get a Phoenix for free. There we go. Frostiak does recall to base. The rest of the team, Dignitas, push on mid.
Yeah, no one here to defend this. If hi-rez wants to ult over, if he wants to back, he won't be there in time. That's going to fall. And they could immediately go over to this left Phoenix as well. Actually, it looks like, do they want to end?
Well, they're going to try for the end here. I don't know if this is the best call. What's the respawn time? Q has just come up right now. It's going to be 1 second. Dignitas are looking for the end here. They're using the beads on Shadow Nightmare there to try and burst it down with a Whirlpool. The Trident, Xbalanque doing work as well. Youngbay still alive. Kraken comes out as well to do as much as it can to bring the Titan down. It's slowly falling, and it looks like Dignitas will take the 2-0 over the Stars.
And Stars, they looked good at the beginning of this game too, but then they just started getting disorganized like we saw in game 1. They didn't know what they wanted. Half their team was doing one thing. Q was dashing in and taunting. Cherio was running away. And really, Shadow Nightmare, the counter pick against Cabrakan was so good.
I mean, Shadow Nightmare played just very well in the mid lane. I don't think he did. It wasn't anything, I'm going to be straight up, but he wasn't anything exciting. He pressed Kraken.
But I mean, that's all you need.
But he did it at the right times when he needed to do it at the right times. It wasn't like off. He wasn't just thrown out randomly. So let's look at that first blood. Talking about that, as we can see this one playing out on your screens right now, and it is going to be with Shadow Nightmare. Shockingly enough, as the Kraken hits onto Frosty. Well, he did the Kraken earlier, and then Frosty got caught on the rotation through the back of the jungle, which I thought was a little odd. Yeah,
and that's something too, is not only did he gum from the back of the jungle, but he immediately went on Gep, which we saw all game. Frezzo just soaked up every single rain of fire, and they weren't used on the carries like upcoming Stars needed it.
But I mean, sometimes you have to hit what's in front of you. Maybe you can get to the back lines, whatever. Let's have a look at the jungle control, though, and see how the Gold Furies and Fire Giants and those mid camps played out.
Yeah, taking a look at the mids, it was 62% for Team Dignitas, so once again, controlling them pretty handily. They did lose 1 Gold Fury, but the rest of the map was kind of even, the same as before. Really not too much invading going on. It was all team fights.
I mean, generally, when you see the enemy jungle getting invaded, like it's either early game invades that just snowball from there, or it's the game's going on for a long time and you've been defending your Phoenix for a long time, so you see your jungle stripped at the late game for the most part. So yeah, I mean, it's generally going to be those mid camps and the Gold Furies as well.
Yep, but Dignitas, they finally find a win outside of Nox, but they have a very, very tough schedule ahead of them.
They do have a tough schedule. They're going to have to deal with the boys of Fnatic. They've still got Epsilon to deal with and Trig as well. So not an easy ride for them, but one thing that we can say is that Shadow Nightmare definitely deserved player of the game for that one. Dignitas' mid laner here, playing that Poseidon 10-1-8. And fantastic play throughout the whole day for me, even on that raw
I think the highlight reel is going to be Cabrakan trimmering Kraken. Cabrakan, there it is.
Every time.
Cabrakan trimmering
I love the fact
Kraken.
that he gets the Defender of Olympus to come down from Q.
Yeah, he waited on that. We saw him wait there, and it was so strong. And once again, Cherio Frostiak didn't make big plays this game like we saw in game 1, but at the very least, they were able to keep Cherio from getting ahead early.
I mean, Frosty did what he needed to this whole time. Frosty did really, really well. I mean, whole time. But what we can do, though, is bring you live with somebody who we didn't really speak too much about. Good old Youngbay, the team captain Areno from Dignitas. Youngbay, you there, buddy?
Yep, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I bet you would be. Right, first question, right? Did you watch Banter Cab with me when Sausage was on? Did you see that?
No, why? What happened?
Because what he stated was that whoever wins that game between you two will be the one that doesn't come 7th. So congratulations.
There's still 3 weeks, though.
There is still 3 weeks. How do you feel about the performance today for you boys? You guys look really good.
Yeah, I feel it was a really solid performance from us, especially game 1. I think, you know, we looked at the recent matches, what they won with against like Fnatic and Trig, and then we, you know, looked at the replays as well, like why did they win? You know, what was the reason that they won? And then we showed, okay, so it's like Yumi Aries, so let's just spin that out and not give it to them.
Okay. Did you guys really focus on making sure Cherio didn't get ahead and really getting Frostiak rolling early? Because that's what it looked like to us. Really shutting down Cherio is what helped you propel those wins.
Yeah, pretty much because Frosty, he knows like all the counters in the jungle, so we basically let him do his thing and just kind of played around him, and it seemed to work really well.
So, a couple more weeks left. You've got 3 big games ahead of you. Who are you fearing most in these 3 games? Or do you fear anyone?
I think all 3 of them. I mean, it's Fnatic, Trig, and Epsilon. They're all really, tough opponents. So
I can understand that.
If you can take a game off of any of the 3, which one would it be? Or 2?
I think it would be either Trig or Fnatic, I think.
Why are you being so polite, young bear? I was hoping you'd give me banter. This isn't banter, is it?
This isn't Banner Bus.
I know. I was expecting Marvin Bay, like, yeah, we'll kill them all. Like,
I'm a nice guy,
I know you're a nice guy. I bet you're in person. Well, thank you for tuning in, coming out on the show for us, young Bay. Congratulations on a great performance from you and the boys. Any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
I want to give a shout out to Dignitas and all our sponsor. A shout out to my team for playing really well, especially Frezzy for, I think he gave me one Geb shield, I think, the whole 2 games or something. Yeah, Shadow Nightmare for being a beast, Variety for really expanding his god pool and, just playing really well. And a shout out to Emilio because he wanted one. I don't know why, but...
Poor Emilio. Useless. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, young Bay, and take it easy. Good luck in your next games in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you.
And with that, guys, that's going to be the end of Game 1. What's up next, Athena?
Next up is going to be Fnatic versus Epsilon, 2 of the top European teams. And then we're going to round out the day with Eager versus AFK. So 2 very strong North American teams as well.
2 strong American teams, 2 strong European teams. And, well, we'll see how they all play out, guys. We'll be back after the break with more action.
From the dust we will awaken. These are the moments that we live for. I can keep it inside of me. And our hands will touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. The sky. Tonight we're coming alive. You're the only high I need. I'm losing control.